Apple has just unveiled the Apple Watch Series 9 and the Ultra 2. So here's 21 things you need to know about them. Also, you might have noticed that we posted our 4th teaser for that big announcement of ours, meaning that there's only one teaser left until everything is revealed. Comment down below if you have any idea of what we're launching, and if you can guess correctly, you might win a special prize. So the first thing that you need to know is that both the Series 9 and the Ultra 2 now feature Apple's brand new S9 chip. Apple's first new chip since the S6 from 2020, as the S7 and the S8 were just a rebranded S6. And Apple did pack a bunch of upgrades here. First, the S9 is based on Apple's A15 chip inside the iPhone 13, rather than the A13 inside the iPhone 11 like before. So we get a much more modern chip architecture. Plus, the manufacturing process is now 5 nanometers down from 7, which makes it more power efficient, which does enable a bunch of extra features too, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Then the GPU is 30% faster, and we also get a twice as fast neural engine, which gives us a number of Siri improvements. Siri on the Series 9 and Ultra 2 now gets processed on the device rather than on Apple servers. So responses will be faster, and you won't need to have an internet connection to talk to Siri anymore, at least not for the more general requests. Siri dictation is also now 25% more accurate, although I cannot say that I've had any issues in either English or Romanian. The S9 chip's neural engine also enables something called double tap, a feature that lets you control your watch to answer calls, scroll through your widgets, and more by simply double tapping your index and your thumb together. Apple called this feature something revolutionary that truly needs the S9's power to be able to work. But it turns out that this feature had already existed for a number of years, hidden in the accessibility settings. Like, we even did a short on this last year, so I honestly have no idea why Apple is acting like this feature is completely new, when it really isn't. Maybe the S9 chip just makes it more accurate and faster, but yeah, this feature is already on the current and past Apple Watch models. We also get a brand new U2 chip that replaces the previous U1 introduced with the Series 6. This enables the ability to have precision finding between your Series 9 or Ultra 2 and the latest iPhone 15s, which also have the U2 chip. Which is cool, but what I really find weird here is that we did not have any sort of precision finding before with the U1 iPhones and the U1 Apple Watches, whereas we did have precision finding with the U1 iPhones and the U1 AirTag. So, I don't know, it seems to me that the U1 chips inside the previous Apple Watches were never really utilized. And I guess my point is further proven by the HomePod integration. So now with the U2 Apple Watches, you can just hold your watch close to your HomePod to pass the song over to it, which you could already do with the U1 iPhones, but not with the U1 Apple Watches. So if anything, the U2 chip seems to simply enable U1 functionality that Apple already had on the iPhone. Now, one change that I'm really happy to see is a much brighter display. The Series 9 gets bumped to a 2000 nit display from 1000, whereas the Ultra 2 gets bumped to a 3000 nit display from 2000. This is a massive increase on both, so if you find yourself out adventuring in a bright sunny day, then this will make a big difference. And thanks to the super bright 3000 nit display on the Ultra, the flashlight is now even brighter, with Apple mentioning this flashlight boost feature, which to me seems like it would be some sort of a toggle in the flashlight app that will max out the screen's brightness. And what's really cool about these displays is that it can also now go to as low as 1 nit of brightness. So if you're woken up in the middle of the night and you're trying to see what time it is, you won't get blinded anymore. Also pretty cool is that both the Series 9 and the Ultra 2 now get 64 gigabytes of storage, up from 32. Having more storage means that you can store more apps and download more music and podcasts for offline listening, which is something that I highly encourage you to do if you have a non-cellular Apple Watch model, or if you simply want to preserve your watch's battery life when outdoors, as streaming content does actually kill it significantly faster. Speaking of the battery, the Series 9 has the exact same battery life as the Series 8, 18 hours of continuous use or 36 with low power mode. However, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 actually gets a longer battery life, which, weirdly enough, Apple didn't mention at all at the event. So by default, it lasts for 36 hours, but when you put it in low power mode, it can now last up to 72 compared to 60. That is 12 hours more, which is a huge upgrade, and I'm honestly surprised that Apple hasn't said a word about this. And I'm also very surprised to see that we did not get a black Apple Watch Ultra. Not only has this been leaked and reported extensively by reputable sources like Mark Gurman, but black was a color that Apple had originally tested for the first gen Ultra. Yet, for whatever reason, the Ultra 2 still only comes in that same one color. Apple did introduce multiple colors for the new titanium iPhone 15 Pros, So it literally makes no sense why we didn't get those colors too on the Ultra. Plus, they're even calling this natural titanium now, same as the 15 Pro's color. Which to me seems that Apple will either be launching a dark titanium version during spring, which is usually when they introduce new iPhone colors, or since the Apple Watch Ultra is meant to be this rugged sports watch that you would, bump into things, they'll never really give it any other colors than natural titanium in order to avoid those ugly scuffs that would then reveal the natural titanium color underneath. Now, we did get a new color for the Series 9, which is this pink, which looks fine, very similar to the iPhone 15, as in it is very, very pastel. Now, one of the biggest changes is that the Series 9 is now Apple's first product to be 100% carbon neutral. What this means is that even the manufacturing is carbon neutral, and the batteries are also made out of 100% recycled cobalt. Yeah, this is pretty impressive, I gotta say. And as part of the move for Apple to be fully carbon neutral by 2030, all leather bands have now been replaced by this new fine woven material. Now, some could argue that leather is biodegradable, whereas fine woven is likely not, but whatever. Apple says that fine woven is a soft suede-like material, so it should feel quite nice. Although I do believe that leather still has a better feeling. Oh, and all fine woven bands are the same price as the old leather ones. Now, we also get some new Hermes bands that are not made out of leather, but rather a new synthetic fabric. However, if you go to Hermes's website, you can still buy leather Apple Watch bands. And Apple has also introduced some updated Nike bands. So the Nike Sport Band now contains recycled materials, which give it this very unique patterny look, which is actually unique to each band. And then the Nike Sport Loop got completely redesigned with a pull tab as well as a new 3D pattern on the inside. I do quite like this design. Of course, if you're not a fan, you can always pick up a third-party Apple Watch band, like these amazing ones from Nomad, that are both incredibly premium and they also look and feel great. You can check out Nomad's collection by using the link below. Then there's also a new Nike watch face that anyone can get when watchOS 10 releases that does look quite nice, and then also a brand new Apple Watch Ultra face 2 that is just packed with complications, although it's not quite clear yet if this is exclusive to the Ultra 2 or not. What I do find quite strange is that some of the iconic Apple Watch Ultra band colors, like the orange Alpine Loop, are now gone, as they've now been replaced with different colors. There is a new orange Ocean band, but if you've never really been a fan of that band, there's no way of buying the international orange Alpine Loop anymore, which, as you all know, used to perfectly match the Apple Watch Ultra's international orange action button. The good news, though, is that the prices have actually been dropped outside of the US. At least in the UK, the Series 9 starts from £400 rather than $420, whereas the Ultra 2 now costs $800, down from $850. Of course, do stay tuned for next week when we'll have both watches in our studio, so do subscribe if you want to see that, and also stay tuned for that big reveal of ours, which is coming very, very soon. I'm Daniel, this has been ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH signing out. Cheers.